Welcome to Work Wednesday, where we have insightful conversations. Today, got a real special guest talking about somebody who's an attorney, somebody who's won a number of awards for her leadership, the 16th mayor of Warner Robins, first African American mayor of Warner Robins. Let me correct that, Mayor Patrick, Mayor LaRhonda Patrick.
Thank you, Carlos.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here with all three of you.
Absolutely. Let's talk. So you got a military background. We do know that. You come from a military background.
Yes.
Walk us through what it was like growing up and coming from a military background. How was that?
Well, I had a great childhood. I really did. I loved my childhood. And being able to travel, to go different places and meet people from different cultures, it really did help shape who I am as a person. Outside of the fact that most people, if they hear me speak, they always ask, where are you from? They don't think I'm from Georgia because I speak differently, but that's because I have a little bit of Southern California in my dialect, and then I also lived overseas for 5 years of my life. All those come together. So my respect for culture comes from my childhood, and being able to be in safe places and safe environments that are always diverse is something I still enjoy and I value as an adult.
Well, I see you on social media, I see you like all around, you supporting like different like small businesses, or you going to different events and things like that. That's great. Like you saying, you feel comfortable and safe. Like, what gives you that safe place to like just go out and mingle like that? 'Cause most people in your position, you're gonna see them if it's like a parade or some big outing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right, but that's why I ran. That's why I ran. Because I literally said during my campaign, when you have people that are elected in office, you see them while they're running, and then you don't see them again until it's time to run again. All of us know that to be true, but that's not what public service is about. You have to be in the community, a part of the community, connecting with the community, because if you're not doing your job. So I make it a point to always be in the community, because I live here. I was in the community before. So why should my steps change just because I'm in elected office? So I'm out more than other elected officials are, to the point where some of them get irritated because I'm out. It reflects to show they're not out. But I told them when I was running I was going to be out. And I just love people. I'm a people person. And I like blending in because I'm a constituent just like everybody else. I just happen to have this role.
You said that before the camera came on, you told us you're just a normal person. Why is it important to you? I mean, you hold the highest position here in Warner Robins as the mayor, but why is it important to you to be that normal person?
Well, I'm just LaRhonda at the end of the day. This is a season in life where I'm elected as mayor of our city, which is an honor and it's a privilege I do not take for granted. But at the end of the day, when that chapter of my life is over and I do something else, there's something that's going to always remain the same, and that's me, LaRhonda. So I was trained to serve people, not have people serve me, and not walk on a red carpet. If there's a red carpet, I'll walk around it. But it's just something that was instilled in me as a child, to always be true to who you are as a person, and don't ever look for people to glorify you or serve you, or never feel like you're above everybody else, because I'm not. I'm a regular person. As they say, I put my shoes on. They say pants, but I'm gonna say shoes. I'm a shoe person. Put my shoes on the same way everybody else puts their shoes on, and that's who I am to my core.
You tripping now, man. You talking about walking around the red carpet. You got to pop it now. You gotta walk down the red carpet now.
Well, it's because I'll go to events and they'll be like, oh, we gotta do this and this. I was like, oh, that's fine. I keep on walking. They're like, wait, we gotta do this, and no, that's fine. I'm good. You don't have to do all the extra stuff for me. I'm here because I wanted to be here. I wasn't here to be seen or to be served.
You gotta understand though, Mayor, like, it's a lot of young girls, even women that's probably older, that really looks up to you, so they're gonna treat you with the utmost respect, and kind of like, I don't know, they're gonna gravitate to you because it's like, okay, she's the first African American mayor in Warner Robins. Not just African American, it's a woman. Like, you're a woman of a power, a position. Even though you don't carry yourself like, oh, I'm this power, you just like, your vibe's like a regular person. Like, I don't know. So people are going to treat you with like, oh, walk down this red carpet. They're
I
not
mean,
gonna
if
say
they
walk
really
around.
want me to walk down the red carpet, then I will do it. I was at an event last night where they had a red carpet, so I had to walk down it. But I say the red carpet, just, a figure of speech
Yeah, I
wise,
know.
to just say that they want, they feel like, oh, well, when you come, we're gonna go do these extra steps for you. I'm like, I'm good, I'm flexible. I can walk in like everybody else did. I don't have to have an announcement, they're gonna announce me. I don't have to, you know, I don't know. I can't even think of examples, but you get where I'm
Well,
going.
sorry, we ain't had no red carpet for you.
I don't need a red carpet.
You should have had one, right?
I don't need it.
So even in just talking about the red carpet situation, like because of your status, you have to do it, right? So
I do.
So it's kind of like it come with the territory. Like, hey, you want to actually come in? Hey, you made a difference. You are this person that's touched. You reachable. You touchable. Like you able to you know uh, be empathetic with others without even knowing them, right? So like in certain stages when people wear those mayor hats, right? We talk about just this is your position at the moment, but we're gonna vote for just throwing it out there as well because of your impact and just coming from a family full of women, and I have daughters as well. Like, how do you handle because it is pressure where is your energy is real, it's great, like is you got it, and when it's obviously when doing stuff effortless, right, it gets to a point where others want to be able to do it and you can't really explain that. So how can you put it in best terms for how to handle the opposite, how to how you take the good with the bad when you in those positions, because you can't always tell everybody yes, you can't always be flexible. Now we appreciate you here at Work Wednesday for sharing your time, but that's not really possible. You know what I'm saying? And how do you handle those moments? I know I just said a lot, but how do you handle those moments?
Yeah, I mean, you make some great points and ask some great questions. But let's talk about the pressure. There is pressure. I might walk around like I'm a regular person. I'm always smiling, and that's just who I am. But at the end of the day, since I'm in this position, I do have to take darts. I call it taking darts. I have to um, endure some mistreatment sometimes. I have to endure, going in boardrooms where people won't even address me by my name, or they won't look at me when they're speaking to answer a question that I asked. And I do it intentionally to test it out sometimes. I have to go in the boardrooms where I may be the only female there, and sometimes the only minority there. I'm on 12 boards in my official capacity. So there's a lot of things. I've been in places where someone refused to shake my hand, and I know it's just because of the way that I look when I walk into a room. Um, so I'm mistreated sometimes. I have to take those darts. But one thing I don't ever do is I never do what they expect me to do, which is react in that way, that's the stereotypical way. I smile and I say nothing until later. I'll address it later, but I'm not going to do it in that stage. So I smile and I prove them wrong. So every day I wake up, I know that it's not going to be easy. A lot of days are easy, but the ugly still comes. I'm in an election season now, and I expect to see some ugly come out even more this year than I've seen in the previous years, just because of the nature of running a campaign. But I take darts, but I take them because the little girls, like your daughters, for example, who look at me and they recognize me in a grocery store, or they come up to me at their school and said, I didn't know you were the mayor. You're so pretty, or you look like me. I do it so that they can have a great example. I do it so that I can make sure that door is open for them to walk through. And I cannot allow any bad commentation about me. I cannot allow anyone to paint me in a certain way and for it to stick, because if I do, we already know how it goes. I make it harder for everybody else. My job is to make it easier for everybody else. So I sit there and I smile and I work my butt off, putting myself last because I don't have a choice.
You know, you mentioned darts, Mary. I know you said that comes with people not shaking your hand, but what other ways do it come? Are people saying things to you? What does it really look like?
Oh yes, and I'm sure you know, but even media, from the media perspective, sometimes they don't want to interview me. Sometimes they want to find the negative thing about our city. Um, I I remember that there was an event that we have every single year, and we have media participation in this event every single year before I was ever elected. And as soon as I got elected, things changed. And I know it's because of me, not because of anything I did to them, not because of anything I stand for, but just because it was me. And politics get embedded in different things, even though it's not supposed to be that way. So, I have three strikes in our county for some. I'm African American, I'm a female, and I'm also a Democrat. So those things are darts. So because of that, sometimes I'm treated differently, and those darts look different in different ways. Other ways that may come out is, sometimes people just won't like me because they don't like me. I didn't do anything to them. They don't know anything about me except for my title. And there'll be people that are community leaders, people that are looked up to. For example, we had a personnel issue at the city that got a lot of attention, and we were supposed to do in handling that issue. But certain individuals who are community leaders in their own right made it a race issue. And if I didn't look like this, they would have never made a big deal. They would have known, oh, well, if that happened was for a reason. But because it was me, oh, she did it because, racial issue, or, she sucks and she doesn't know what she's doing. Those things happen when I am the most highly educated mayor that's ever served in Warner Robins. And my background, if you look at it, compared to others, you will see that education is not an issue.
Well, explain your education. Start from Northside High School.
You hate to see
He's hating to see it.
Let's talk about your education.
Yes, I know we went to rival high schools, but I graduated from Northside High School. I was the president of my class. I was really quiet, laid back, but I was president of my class. Went on to college, got my bachelor's in political science pre-law from Georgia State University, and I worked for 1 year at the General Assembly, full-time Senate staff, before going to law school, North Carolina Central University School of Law. That's in Durham, North Carolina. So I went to a HBCU for law school. So I always wanted to go to an HBCU when I was in high school, but most of those were private and my scholarships wouldn't cover that tuition. So I didn't get to. So when I got to law school, that's where I went. So my education, I have a Juris Doctor. I am a licensed attorney in the state of Georgia, and I'm educating myself every day when it comes to working in the position I am in. But my career is corporate law, government procurement law, and then I went into municipal law as a city attorney and also a little criminal as a solicitor in a city bordering ours before I became the mayor of Warner Robins. And for our city charter, the mayor of our city is a strong mayor. I'm the CEO, so it says I am the CEO, that's what it says. So I run the city. I have a city administrator and I have a team of people, executive staff, directors that do their thing. But at the end of the day, if there's something that goes wrong, it's my fault. If there's something that goes right, it's my team's. It's because of my team. So I lead with being a team, but my education has prepared me for the position that I'm in. I didn't know that it would. My education, not just institution-wise, but an education in my career. Because when you're in a career, you're always learning how to be better. You're always learning, what to do next time. So my education is still going now.
Did you ever, 4 years, coming up on 4 years, has it really just set in that I'm the first woman African American mayor?
Yeah, it really has. It's setting in more and more, and don't want to sound cliche, but every time Black History Month or Women's History Month comes around, it sets in a little bit more because I'll see little girls who have done a tribute to me.
Like a portrait or something?
Yeah, for Black History Month or for Women's History Month. They will be the Wax Museum, and I'll be on there at a school. Or someone may dress up as me and do a speech. So I love seeing those things. So when I see it, it really does hit differently, especially seeing it with young girls of all different backgrounds. So it hits different when I see that, because I'm like, wow, I guess I am relevant during this month, because
As young people say, you heard.
I'm her. Yeah, but it does hit different when those months come around.
Do you think having this important position, how do you how do you even balance family, your me time, and work?
Oh yeah, you're hitting on something with that one. I'm still trying to figure it out. To be honest, it's tough. I mean, I'm a single mother of a 7-year-old, and that alone is a lot of work, especially when he's trying to find his footing in sports. I know I'm amongst sports fans. You got athletes, you got game changers guy right here. So trying to find his footing in sports, that means you try different sports. But it's really difficult to do this job full time and over full time, because I'm working most hours of the day if I'm not asleep, and still try to be a mom to my son and a present mom, and also try to keep my youthful look as much as I can. Those are challenges, and scheduling in me time is not easy, and I still haven't quite figured it out, but I'm trying. But I know I could make my schedule be really laid back, but if I did, they'll say I'm not doing anything. I'm being ineffective. So I knew when I signed up that this term would be this way.
I'm gonna get you on the daily deposit plan. Don't worry about it. It's gonna.
It is.
You gonna when you win, when do the election, when you win, you're gonna be back on the show. We can be able to talk about your progress. Tell them to ask that question again.
And if you ever feel like, I know you sometimes you feel like you're unheard because of all the different backgrounds of people that don't feel like you fit the description as a leader. You can always come on here. We got people watching from everywhere.
Okay.
But yeah.
Mary, you mentioned that you're a single mother to your young man. You didn't come in that way though.
I didn't. But thank God I am now.
Hey, life happens.
Let's talk about that.
Okay, let's talk. So I'll tell you, before I ran for office, I was separated from my son's father. And it was a good thing for me and my son. And, to try to do things differently, come back in my life. And I knew I was going to be running for office. And I knew life would be easier if I just stayed the course. So I decided to go back, or to allow him to come back in. And it was miserable from that point on. But I felt like I couldn't leave. I felt like I couldn't leave, because if I did, now I'm running for office. And that's going to be something they can attack me on. Once I won, I couldn't leave, because I felt like if I did, they're going to attack me on it. And things got so bad and so much stress in my life whenever I got to my driveway and had to cross that threshold to go into my house every single day. I realized I couldn't keep living this way. I couldn't keep accepting how I was being treated. And my son got older, and he started seeing some things in the household that children should not have to see, especially when you want your children to grow up in a household full of love. And when that happened, and I saw my son being impacted by what he was having to view and see and hear, I said, I can't do it anymore. So I knew I had to make this step. And it was a bold move to make. So I did it. And I have been happy. I've been losing weight. I've been looking better, because I made a decision that was best for LaRhonda Patrick, and not be held back because of a title for which I hold. No woman should have to endure mistreatment and many other things because of a title, or because of society, or what society would want you to be and look like, and the mold they want you to fit. So I took a chance, and I chose me. I chose my health. I chose my son. I chose his happiness. And I want him to have a healthy relationship when he grows up to become a strong Black man. So I did it for those reasons. And it was one of the best decisions I ever made.
You said it was the best decision, but was it a hard decision?
It was a very hard decision. It took years to get here, you know? It took years to get to the point where I'm like, okay, I can't do this anymore. But I've been separated now for 17 months and counting this time.
You got down to the date.
And then before that, I was separated for 12 months. I did that thing about 10 and a half years ago. And the majority of that time was not good times. So people say if your good days outweigh your bad days, then you're okay. But when you start to flip that, and the good days you can count on your finger, and the bad days dominate the rest, I know I was making the right decision. So it was a hard decision to make. A lot of lonely moments, and feel like I had to sacrifice for a position I committed to. But people have been supportive of me, especially women have been very supportive in the decision that I've made. My councilmen are supportive, and people started noticing when they didn't see pictures of him, just me and my son. So being a single parent in this position that is very demanding of your time is hard. You have to rely on your network, but at the same time, your network has their own lives too. So there are some times when my son have to dish it out. Like, okay, Lane, you got to come with me. You got to come with mommy today because I didn't have a choice.
But that can be a great thing because he just look at you as mommy, and just let's say he's 7 now, in 7 years, he's 14, he's about to be in high school. He can look back and say, "Wow, my mama made impact on this city, this county." So it can be a good thing of him seeing you go to these interviews, go to these meetings. It can be a good thing.
Yeah, good point. And when I was running for office, my son was 4, or he had just turned 4. Yeah, he just turned 4. And I remember he saw on the news the night before my announcement. He saw it. I didn't tell him. He was there, but he saw that mommy was running for mayor. So the next day he went to camp, and he told the whole staff at his Catholic school that my mommy's running for mayor. That's what he said. And I was like, how did he know that? He literally just turned 4. Like a week prior. And one day I was riding with him after school, taking him home. And again, I'm on my campaign trail at this point. So I have my full-time job, I'm doing this. And he says, Mommy, when I grow up, I'm gonna be mayor. And I said, good, Lane, you can be mayor. He was like, well, you can't be mayor because you're a girl. Boys are mayors, not girls. And I'm thinking, who taught my baby this? Because that's not what he learned from me. But it's true. It really opened up my eyes to how children can perceive the world. So now my job is to prove his words wrong and show him that yes, women can, women will, and women do deserve to be in a position like this. So he doesn't say that anymore, but that is really what he thought as a new 4-year-old.
I mean, I think so. I'm big into kids. I want a lot of them. So it's kids are very intelligent. Just my perspective, right? Just give you my perspective, and that's where again we need to learn. Hey, where did you learn that at? That's a start to actually build a dialogue into the conversation. Like I'm thinking about when you said that. I'm thinking about my daughter, right? And I swear she's 3 turning 13.
That's a fun age.
Yeah, it's crazy. So when you just reflect on your son, I just thought about my daughter and the conversation that we had, and I have to tell her, "Oh no, you can do this," and I have to get on the internet and show, basically compare, and I have to do the same thing for my son. So kids are very intuitive, and it's it opens it up. I don't want to tell all your business, but he gave me a great conversation back there. He told me you're gonna grow up and be eight things, right? And for somebody that age to be able to tell me right that confidently, that tell me all I need to know of the type of environment that bringing him up as proud. He know who he is, and it's very shout out to you. I know you just talk about the things that you're going through, but obviously everybody got their peaks and valleys in life. of it all is keep going. Like it's always gonna be tomorrow.
Thank
It's
you.
always gonna win. So like it just just stack the days. It all balance.
Thank you for that encouragement. I appreciate it.
Now, you mentioned moments ago again that obviously you're a single mom now. How do you balance being that single mom and still being on top of the marriage job? Because I know that's not easy.
It isn't. It's a lot of sacrifice. I sacrifice a lot. I sacrifice a lot with my son. But one thing I don't sacrifice as much as I probably should is work. I don't say no a lot. I feel bad if I say no, or if I can't attend something if they're asking me to come for whatever reason. But it's sacrifice I do a lot of sacrificing on all levels of my life, and I always put myself last. But that's something I have to do in order to keep everything else afloat. So it's difficult, but I do it, and hopefully I don't look bad doing it. It might make it look easier than it actually is, because it is a challenge, and I have a lot of mommy guilt for not being able to be that hands-on mom 24/7, which I wanted to be ever since I was carrying my baby. But at the same time, I know my son is proud of me. I know that he sees something in me and he sees a purpose, and it helps to, as you said, Mr. Denard, it helps him to see that he can also reach high and do big things. So that's why if you ask my son, he is 3 things already, and he don't have the first high school diploma, but he has 3 career fields right now, and all of them require higher education. And he will tell you why he is each one. So he is a very smart kid, and I make it work.
You said dealing with mommy guilt.
Yes.
Explain that. Elaborate on
So mommy guilt is when a working mom knows they're sacrificing time that other moms don't have to sacrifice with their children. So going to the different events at schools, working moms can't always go. Being able to volunteer for certain events, they can't always do it. Picking their child up from school every day, that is something that we'd love to do, but we just can't do. Being able to sign them up for all the different activities, something we always can't do. So mommy guilt is when you feel like you're not being the best mom to your child that you want to be, and that maybe you used to be, because mommy has to work. So mommy guilt is real. A lot of working moms, they feel it, but they also feel alone. And whenever we start talking about it amongst each other, we feel empowered. And it's okay that we are not able to do as other moms are able to do with our children, because our children see mommy as strong, they see mommy as independent in some cases, and they see mommy making moves that make them proud. So we have to lean on that, knowing that we can't give 100% of ourselves to our children because mommy has to work too.
I got a little pushback. Not really pushback, but I want to have.
I have daddy guilt too, though. I know you say that.
We can talk about that too. That's why I say a little pushback.
Okay,
I don't like.
Hopefully I played that off.
do it.
Yeah, that's the.
Oh yeah, there's now the mommy guilt is not just for
No.
daddy guilt too.
I mean,
Mhm.
I'm not saying that you're wrong, because you're not wrong. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, I feel like we started labeling stuff, right? And by labeling it, like I was raised by my grandparents, so like I know me and my mom. I accomplished my dreams really early. I'm 33 now. We met before, so like I was blessed super young. So I had a lot of hard conversations, like super early, just because of the lifestyle that I had jumped into. So where my mom felt guilt because she couldn't make all my games, because I have younger sisters, right? One played basketball, another one was a cheerleader, other stuff had, problems, and to me, it is true, you can be guilty. I get daddy guilt as well, but it's no different from the old times. I don't want to say it like that, but I think mentally it that brings us down, right? Because now we're doing glass ceilings, right? We put limits when technically we ain't have no choice. Now we don't know at that moment, but that's the blessing in disguise in that moment. To the moment where you sit back driving and your son say, "Hey, I want to be a mayor." No, mommy, you can't be a mayor, and you just put him in. You know what I'm saying? Like that is now I need to start paying attention to mommy because this mommy is actually doing something I didn't dream of doing to be able to do that. So like that's why I say like as far as it's life,
It
you got to
is.
choose your heart. Like at the end of the day, we got to choose our heart, right? And whatever choice you got to wholeheartedly have your morals, have your reason why. Everybody got their reason why to do it, right? And if we okay to do that, I think it helps us out a lot of times because we put ourselves in glass buildings, we put ourselves in where we not talking to the next person, and we could actually get over whatever. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't know. This is me going on my. We ready? Yeah. So this is my normal.
Yeah.
I don't really go outside that much, but that's kind of when I hear that. That's why I say pushback. No, and I wanted to correct it because I understand your feelings. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when we label it, it can put us on. Have us glass shamed, have us in, glass ceilings, and now, that's a slippery slope. Now we teaching the next person to, you know, bottle themselves in worse, and you just, I don't know. They just,
Not recognizing you doing the best you can.
yeah, like you doing. At the end of the day, you're doing great.
Uh,
Cause at the end of the day, like again, that's the blessing. That's the blessing in disguise. Sometimes, just like for I don't wanna. We had another guest, right? That I grew up watching, right? And I seen everything he did. I tried to emulate it. That's how I ended up being. But I was able to touch this person, not knowing that I like he talked about that picture. I wasn't a football player. People forget that I was in the band. Like, so like, but he was that. But I was able to touch it, and I was able to remember and go back and have those conversations too.
Right.
So it's like I ain't want to go out there, but it's that person, if that makes sense. So it's like sometimes you save yourself not even knowing. You know what I mean? So it's like you the parent for a reason.
Yeah,
Like
good
something,
point.
like, we can't backseat drive. I know what's best at this moment. Now, if it changed down the moment, I can own it because at that moment, that's what I thought was best. But
Yeah.
my bad, G. You ready?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I feel you. I got it. It makes sense because what we're doing is now we're putting ourselves in a category that we put ourselves in because we use that word.
Yes.
And now you've made it a negative, and now you're more likely to conform to that behavior.
Yes.
So it's better to just not do that and focus on, we're just doing what we got to do. I'm still a great parent. And yeah, so you just taught me something. So thank you.
That is daily deposits. That's you being a better version of yourself than you was yesterday. Right? That's all in your capability. I ain't asking you to do too much. Just be 1% better. Just wake up every day, hit one of those goals. I really want you to hit 5 of them because it's possible. That's why you set them. It's your goals. It's you got to wear your armor. You got to, inject yourself in with some vitamin N before you leave your house, right? Vitamin N is no, right?
Okay.
You gotta have that no, because when you leave, it's so many distractions, so many of them. So it's like if I don't be, I'm gonna just say, I gotta own it because I'm gonna try to watch my words, right? I gotta own my goals. If I don't own it, nobody else is. So like the same way you got to the point that you're at. It's just words are powerful. You speak life or death. Sometimes we forget, like, when we be talking, and again, we put ourselves in like these glass buildings and then be asking get us out. And it's really be us. So it's, just a reflection on yourself. Just be better than yourself than you were yesterday. So,
Like it. like it.
Bear, you've been through a lot when you're talking about being a single mom, being a mayor, just a lot. Would you say it's been an emotional roller coaster of emotions?
Yes, it has. It has been an emotional roller coaster. Um, there's been days when I have been stressed out, which I'm not a person that really wears stress, because another example of putting yourself in a category and then you conform to it. So if you just don't claim it, then it's better.
Right.
But I've been under stress, and actually say I am stressed, which you don't hear me say even before I got in this position. I've been in situations where I feel like, I just want to break down and cry, and then I do cry. I have my cry fits because it gets heavy sometimes. The load I'm carrying gets heavy, even though I know it's for a great purpose. And people are just mean, and people are just fierce, and they don't even know me. So having to hear all the negative things and people treating me differently in some cases, it gets heavy sometimes, and that's emotional. Then I have my emotional highs where I'm just happy and proud, and someone says something of how I've impacted their personal life, or a little girl that comes up to me in a store and says, "Are you the mayor?" And I say, "Yes." And then she's so excited. So those are emotional highs. And then seeing my son, just proud of mommy when I come to his school, and the smile he has on his face when they say, "Mayor Patrick is here," and that's Lane's mommy. It's been a lot, but there's been overwhelmingly more emotional highs than emotional lows.
That's always good.
Mm-hmm.
Also remember, it's not so. This is what I believe in. Quiz. We both like this. It's never a stressful day. It's a stressful moment. It's never a bad day. It's a bad moment. It might be a couple of bad moments, but don't let that determine your day. Like with me, I'm always happy. That's it. I'm always happy, no matter
All
what.
the time.
I can be the worst thing can happen, but I have a short memory. I'm like, okay, it wasn't a bad day. It wasn't a bad moment. It was just something it was a lesson. Okay, let me do this next time, so maybe it won't be a bad moment. So that's how we look at things. Like, there's no stressful day. It's a stressful moment because you can be stressed out right now. You could have been stressed out before you came here, but we welcome you in and started talking, start smiling. It's all gone. So that's why I say it's a stressful moment, not a stressful day.
Yeah, it was definitely a challenging moment when I got in here, but the energy
Because
is
it's strange. It's
transferable.
strange because you probably looking like, who's that guy? I know him. I know him. Who's that guy?
Just the stuff that happens before I came in the door, but like you're right, your energy transferred to me, so I appreciate you all and how you received me when I came in the door.
Absolutely. That's Work Wednesday.
So just saying, like you driving down, just super random. You driving down the road, right? If you had one album you can play
Uh-oh.
for the rest of your time driving down this
One
road,
album.
what album would you? What album would it be?
I'm so used to my playlist now. I got my playlist for
What
every
playlist? What's your
time.
playlist?
We all been asked what's your favorite, man.
I use Amazon Music.
Okay, Amazon. Shout out to Amazon.
Yeah, I use Amazon Music.
It's like a play. It's just play. It's just continue to play. Like
No, it's just like all the other
It's
ones.
just You know,
It's just a platform that I
Just a
choose
different
to
platform.
subscribe. Yeah.
So what's the name of your playlist?
Uh-oh.
Oh God. Okay.
Keep the phone.
All right. So I got one called Vibin', and that's more R&B, all females, more modern R&B.
Okay.
Got some Money Love. I got some Doja. She's on Doja Cat's on there, even though it's not R&B. I got some. Well, Vibin's more of a mixture of music. I got some Megan Thee Stallion. I don't have any Glorilla because I'm just not into her yet.
Cool.
I got some Nicki Minaj.
Dang, slow.
So, but then I got Studio 32, which you all probably are too young to know what that was.
Yeah, on the east side.
Okay. Yes. So Studio 32.
You don't know about 32?
come on, man. I know I was going out for years, man. Come on, huh?
We gotta know about that.
I used to bring boots to the 32.
Right.
First time I seen, well, that's no.
So what? So check this out, though, man. So when you got, just say you got you got to do a speech or something that day, and you drop your son off. You're doing everything. You done prayed, did everything. What you listen to before you went to office?
Well, honestly, I listen to Corinne Hawthorne. She's a gospel artist.
Do you
And
know
there's
her,
this,
shot?
No, that's
Huh?
what you talking about. Nah,
One of them.
I don't know.
Yeah.
oh, well, if she comes on, let me know. I will come. I'll be a part of the greeting crew when she comes in. I'll lay out the red carpet. But she has this one song called Unstoppable.
Mhm.
And I think it's really fitting for my life.
Mhm.
And I love to listen to that song.
It's very motivating, ain't it? Because I've
It's
listened to it
very
too.
motivating. Yes.
You pull to work sometimes, sit in the car, just have to pray and like talk to yourself, like, you know, this happened, I'm gonna just respond. I'm gonna just take a deep breath and I'm gonna do it. Because I do it all the time. Like, I have to take deep breaths and just talk to
Yeah.
myself.
I do have to take deep breaths. I have to, Lord, please, please, please don't let them get on my nerves today because I do not want to show out today. I do that.
What's the day in the life like as a mayor? Because all we know is, you know, the mayor, she's a mayor, you know, y'all do like different stuff. And
Well,
so what's the day
not
in the life?
not to cut you off, bro, but I'm a little country. I'm a little slow, so I don't even know nothing about the mayor.
I don't even.
Okay.
So I'm like, can you educate me? Just saying, when my vote today, please? 'Cause
Okay.
you know,
All thing I know about a mayor, I know Jack Ellis went to Africa. You know, people weren't happy about it. Hey, I know Keisha Lance Bottom. She went to the White House. I don't know what the mayor do on a daily basis. So yeah, let us know.
Okay. Well, good question. So, my job is to run the city and all pieces of it. So I'm the boss of all of the 700 city employees.
Make it plain.
So we have our police department, so I'm their big boss. I have to make sure all the policies are followed, make sure we don't get in any trouble. I can even say, hey, I don't like police officers sitting on Russell, getting people going into Robins Air Force Base. So can we not do that? And they'll say, yes, ma'am. Or if I'll say, so basically I have the ability to influence the practices that we do across the city for a police department, fire department, public works, utilities, all of those things. I make big decisions, and if I can't make them, then council makes them, and then they allow me to move accordingly. So making sure everything works properly, from your water being clean, that you can drink it out the faucet here in Warner Robins, you can.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Now, if I get sick, man, I'm reaching out. Man, I got sick.
And if you got sick from drinking our water, you literally could reach out and say, hey, your water made me sick.
I'll reach out to you. I'm going past everybody.
You can reach out to me. A lot of people reach out to me. And then it's my job to figure out, why are we having this complaint? What's wrong with our water? When we test it last, what does the test say? So I have to make sure that, roads are drivable, not like the ones in other big cities that you hit a pothole every time you ride by.
Whole
Something
time.
good.
Turn the music down.
And make sure, I make sure that, I have to make sure that, trash is getting picked up when it's supposed to get picked up, leaves, yard waste, getting the blight out. We're still working on that part. But the funnest part of my job is being able to make impact and initiatives. So, we hear about the executive orders coming up from the White House. I can do the same thing, but mine would be for positive things to bring our city forward. So initiatives like redeveloping our downtown district to make it real downtown, building one from the ground up.
Where is downtown?
Commercial Circle.
It's been redeveloped, isn't
By
it?
Jacko's?
Yeah, all that's Commercial Circle. The intersection of Watson and Davis Drive.
Okay.
Mhm.
So redeveloping that, or whatever strategy we want to do to buy up the land, and we bought up a lot of the land already. Policy, if somebody comes and says, hey, we want to have miniature goats in the city limit, can we do it? And I'll say, well, our code says this, but maybe, it's my job to start moving forward if I feel like majority of constituents want it, to make it happen. So the majority of what I do is going to be planning and strategy, and resolving issues, changing in the legislative part, which is changing laws to best suit what the community wants today.
What is one of your biggest goals to accomplish while you're in that seat?
Redevelopment of the downtown district. That we've heard about it, all of us. If you went to school in Warner Robins, they used to always say, we're going to get to downtown.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it yet. But now, it's happening. But it took someone that, I'm not talk about it, I be about it. You got to be about it. You can't just say something because it sounds good or put colors on a canvas because it looks good. You got to get it out the door. So that's what I've been doing. So my biggest thing is redeveloping the downtown district to make a downtown. Our city is 11th largest, and all the cities above us, they got a downtown. A lot of cities below us have a downtown, but our city is young. It's only 82 years old. Other cities are hundreds of years old. So we grew really fast, and we didn't have that city center. We started developing out, down Watson, down 96. We never came back to the center work. So now we want to get that done, and I came into office with that as my major platform, and we owned less than an acre of land in the 17-acre parcel, and now we own or have under contract about 80% of that space. So it's happening. We got renderings coming out soon. Should be this month. We should have renderings out soon. We already have unsolicited proposals from developers who do developments like the Avalon, the Atlantic Stations, to build something here. Not saying we're going to get those developers, but they build developments such as that in other cities across the nation. But yeah, really excited to have a live, work, play community. Where people live, they work, they play. We have community activities on the ground dining. Just a really nice, pretty place to walk. Everything that you may need in a day, from yoga to a haircut to nails done to fine dining to a dog bar. I don't know if those things are called, but
Dog park.
yeah, like the ones where you can have a drink while your dog plays.
Oh, wow.
Those things.
Yeah.
Some balcony places where you can do some beverages with your friends. Walk around with an open container, all in good spirit, have good community events. All those things are going to be coming to a downtown that's going to be built from the ground up. So that is my largest
That's
initiative.
bringing people together. I like that.
Yeah.
That's intriguing.
Yeah.
Might move back home, man.
But I say that was kind of my question. Like, I'm a Florida resident. I'm trying to move back to the Middle Georgia area. You just sold me though, so you just stumped me.
Let me tell you.
I'm coming to see downtown.
Let me tell you, there's a lot of opportunities here for people that are entrepreneurs, people who's wanting to grow a business, or even have a business that you want to, increase your revenue. We are the spot to be. We've gotten attention from even Emory. Emory is all Atlanta Metro, but their first location outside of Atlanta Metro is going to be Warner Robins. So that should happen this year. We got Emory attention. We're getting a big box store like a Sam's or a Costco. Not one of those. It's another one. Well, it's out. BJ's is coming. We have industrial developers who are looking for spaces to come here and bring their investment, bringing hundreds and hundreds of jobs right here to this market. You have developers who develop in cities like Atlanta who have just bought a whole bunch of properties to develop here in Warner Robins. Homes for home ownership, not apartment complexes. So we got Lennar coming to town. So we have a lot of investment that's happening in our city. And a lot of people wonder, like, how are they going to Warner Robins and not Macon? But if you do the market research, which if you're a developer, then market research is something you have to do. And when you do the market research, the place where you want to be in Middle Georgia that has a big pockets and spend big is Warner Robins.
It's always been like that, like big pockets and a safe city. Like, it's always been like that. And Air Force Base is going to drive people too. So,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
You didn't, I know you said your main goal was the redevelopment or developing the downtown, but the homeless shelter is also something that you guys have developed as of late.
Yes. Homeless shelter. Another thing I ran on was helping to resolve or improve the homeless issue in our city because we're growing. With growth comes some things that happen in big cities. Yeah. And constituents, especially in Houston County, they are going to hamper as much as they can on that negative possibilities that could come to your city. We started seeing more homeless in our community, in our shopping district, I call it. So we hit it hard with trying to find options for individuals to be returned to their community as good citizens. So we went out to get a homeless shelter. We bought one, my second year of office, and now it's going through its final phase of renovation. And we'll be opening this year to provide a 90-day temporary housing with programs for 50 individuals. We'll have 50 beds, so they'll be continuously, shifting.
How do people? How would someone?
Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah,
Thank you.
right. So someone watching this, how would they go about like getting into the shelter when it does open?
So we have a community outreach person, homelessness outreach person who already goes out in the woods where they are, the tents. The homeless community already trusts him. So
Brian
building
Wise.
trust you have to do first. Yes,
Brian
Mr.
Wise.
Wise. They have to trust you first. So we're already building that through our homelessness coalition. So we already know who they are. They're in our database. They know who we are. And believe it or not, a lot of them have phones, so they can call. So they've been asking for when it's going to open. We're always, different programs. We're giving food, giving hygiene products. So we're continuously touching them, so they know we care about them. So when it opens, the ones that want to get off the street will come. There are some that don't ever want to leave the streets, and they're not going to come. And we know this. But we have to give them options too, so that they're not in our shopping district, and they're not living in tents in the undeveloped parts of our town.
Now, you've also did something at the recreation park, I think off of the Airport Road. You guys made some changes over there as far as podcast equipment, really things to do for the youth and just people across Warner Robins. Could you talk about that?
Absolutely, yeah. So expanding our options for Parks and Rec is important to me. Even before I went on this journey to become mayor of the city, because growing up as a military child, we always had the rec department, and we got to do all kinds of activities on any given Saturday. And when I came here, it was a culture shock for many reasons, but mostly because we didn't have fun things to do anymore. And if we did, it cost so much. My dad was the only one working, so he couldn't give us, each of us $15 a day to do the things that we could do for no dollars. We moved on the Air Force Base. And then I'm not a basketball player, I'm short. I was more into track and fields, football, but we don't have those back then. You didn't have those options. So I wanted to make sure we expanded our Parks and Rec options, and we did it. We're doing it now with our Eno Lab that's opening this month. It's a community innovation lab. We call it Eno Lab. It's a collaboration with Apple, yes, like your phone, Apple, and Ed Farm, which is the STEM educational arm of Apple. So we're having a space. Our lab is all about STEM education for all ages, from the smallest little one all the way to the most senior member of our community. It's free to the community. There are some things that would cost. Majority of it is going to be free, but you can learn robotics, coding, gaming, drone training, fabrication lab, maker spaces, presentation space with a green screen. You have the podcasting room. You also have the production room. So we have real production equipment in there. And on our opening day, we're going to get a local artist to record a song in it with using our equipment. So we have a lot of things that's open to the community there. Even exercises through the Apple. I'm not an Apple person, but don't tell them I said it. But through their Apple, you can watch virtual workouts.
Oh yeah, virtual workouts.
Yeah, so we'll have even that on big screens. You can come in and do yoga by watching it on the screen. So it's a really awesome place, and we are the only one of our kind in the nation. That's what Apple and Ed Farm said. All the other programs that they've done, STEM education, they're always connected to a school, inside the school, but never open to the community. So we have it. We'll have coding clubs. We'll have adult education tracks where they can learn computer coding to help them get jobs. We have an innovation library for the smallest kids to hear books. We got different pods for people to sit there and do one-on-one work or just do work on their own. So it's really awesome experience, and we're so grateful to have it here in our community.
And when will this open?
It opens in March. It opens this month.
You gotta let us know so we can come out and support.
Oh, I will. I surely will. I'll definitely
Carlos, let us know.
send it.
Are you saying me?
I would love for you all to come to the opening. It's a big deal. Apple will be there. Ed Farm will be there. So it is really a big deal.
Yeah, maybe we can get some content there. For these guys, they travel around into different events, so that'd be good.
Oh,
to
that'd
do
be
something
great.
for the local community.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to have the artist doing the live recording of a song. We can have you all do a live podcast from there looking at our equipment. If you're open to it, just let us know.
Certainly
We're open to it. Another thing I get to do as mayor, I get to just do things without going through the red tape. There is no red tape for me usually. And if there is red tape, then I take it to council, and usually we think about the same, so it works out.
That's good.
Sound like you were born for this.
Yeah, you were.
Well, I'm definitely built for it.
I mean, hey, we see that. Shout out to Ronda Robbins. Like your next term, just say 10 years. How do you see the city? You see how it has still a young city. It's the 11th biggest city in the state of Georgia. In 10 years, where do you see it? Especially after, your leadership. Where do you see it?
In 10 years, the census predicts our population to be over 100,000 in the city. We're going to continue annexing and getting our acreage to increase. That's for certain. We're already sitting in 2 counties, which is Houston, mostly. We're also in Peach County. There's a possibility for us to get in another county, which is for a whole nother discussion. So our city is going to have a downtown in 10 years. We're going to have a larger population. We're going to have different levels of housing available for individuals, meaning different price levels, so that the young professional can have a place to live and buy a home, townhomes, row homes, quads, condos. We want to see those types of housing come to our community, which most people our age, we love that life. That's what we want. We don't want to go out there pushing a lawn. We don't have time to push lawnmowers. We want to have somewhere nice, still have to be able to entertain, and not have to pay rent that goes up every year. Like, nobody wants to do that anymore.
Right.
Especially if you're younger like you all are. If you have student loans, we don't have extra money for that. So give me a better quality of life. Our crime rate will still be low like it is now. It continues to decrease. And we're going to have, more shopping options. A lot of people come here to shop anyway, because Macon comes here to shop a lot for food, for groceries and everything. We're going to have more of that happening here. And we're going to have our downtown. That's going to be different than the communities that surround us. And it's going to bring in a lot of visitors. We're trying to do a lot of athletic recreation. I think I'm saying the term wrong, but bringing in more recreational programs that attract tournaments, that attract travel ball, and having different sports here and make us the Middle Georgia hub for those types of events to happen.
Because baseball would be a great hub to have, like traveling baseball here. Be a great hub.
Yep. So we're working on, investing in our Parks and Rec to expand that too. Even boxing, even somebody came to me talking about hockey, which we may not do that, but maybe a smaller form of it. But having tournament spaces for travel ball is something you're going to see in 10 years here in Warner Robins.
What about the amphitheater?
We're going to have an amphitheater. We're doing renderings for that hopefully this year. We'll have the Civic Center. If you grew up here, you may have been in the Civic Center. That'll be renovated too, or taken away. I don't know. We're going to have recreational activities for all ages outside of just basketball, tennis, pickleball. We want to have more tennis courts. We already have really good pickleball courts. We already have a golf course.
You know how to play pickleball?
I mean, I took it one time. I took class once.
She went to the class. You gotta watch out with people out here. She's like, I don't know how to play. She play the class, you end up losing.
Yeah, but we want to really be the recreational hub for Middle Georgia. We really do. We already have a golf course that we own, but giving more programs for golfers of all ages, from the small kid to the most elder senior in our community. So really being more inclusive with things to do in Warner Robins. Because if you grew up here, we always said what?
There's nothing to do.
There's nothing to do. That's why they want to leave and go where? Atlanta.
What's the golf course here?
International City Golf
Yeah, it's
Course.
far from here.
Okay.
It's right down the road.
Yeah, Sandy Run.
Kind of cut some red tape with me.
Yeah. What you want to do? A golf? You want to do a tournament?
I want to do a tournament. I want to be a member.
Okay, we got you.
Easy.
Yeah, if you just want to
Oh,
golf
nice.
there, don't worry about that. I got you on that too.
Okay.
But we have a lot of things to offer, but most people don't know. So in 10 years, people will know what we have to offer.
So with you, I know you're running again. You're gonna win it. We're gonna claim it. You're gonna win it again. So after that's done, where do you see yourself going? Do you see yourself going like to the White House maybe, or to a higher politician role? Like, where do you see yourself?
People ask me that a lot. Actually, people tell me, "Oh, I heard you're going to do this, and I heard you're going to do that." I was like, "Well, that's weird because nobody told me." Like, I don't know how this is going around different political parties, and I'm going to do this because I never heard of it. But whatever. But people sometimes, and I know we're getting close to the end, so this is a good thing to say. Sometimes in life, as you continue to go through life, things will fall in your lap. People will insert things into you, and you have no idea where it came from. And that's gonna that happens, but you got to take it and accept it and not fight it, because I'm a Christian. So if God can do exceedingly and abundantly more than you can ever ask or think, Ephesians 3:20, then why do we limit ourselves or go in a glass house? Just like you were a band member, and somebody deposited something in you, and you became an NFL player, and so much more. Same with you, same with all of us. We have our stories, right? So for me, people keep inserting things in me, like, you're going to do this, and I could see you running for Congress, and they say you're going to run for this seat in Congress, and they say one day you're going to run for governor, and I'm hearing these things, and I heard it so much this week. It's crazy. You start to sit back and say, well, is God trying to tell me something, or are they seeing something in me that I didn't see in myself? That's what got me to be mayor. I wasn't planning on doing this at all. I was not planning to do this. I took a pay cut to do this job. But it's the most impactful job I've ever could have had. And I think this is my purpose. I know it is. So people insert things in me. So I don't know. I'm open to whatever God has in store. But I can tell you, I don't see myself doing this thing, which is being a state representative or a state senator. That would be a step back for me. The impact is not the same. They're just at the legislative level. And I love doing things in the community. I love doing initiatives. I love doing that real physical impact and driving change. So Congress, I keep hearing that. Maybe I'll run for a congressional seat and be a congresswoman. I hear governor. I do not see that. And if that ever happens, then God had to hit me upside the head a few times for me to ever say that LaRhonda Patrick can be voted as the governor in the state of Georgia. But you get my drift.
But sometimes we fight stuff like, we all have our own personal battles. Like, you're supposed to be doing this, but it's like, I'm just running from it. It's like you run from it, then some way you make a U-turn, you go right back to it. So
Yeah.
you could be one of those things, though. You just never know.
Yeah.
I always feel like if you do right by people, do the right thing when no one is looking, then everything will work out and work its way.
Yeah, that's integrity, boy. I live by it every day. But yeah, I mean, I had this really conservative guy come up to me at the VA opening in Perry. Of course, most people you see, you all know, they know you. All of us in here know. They'll know you, but you don't know them. And he says, I've been wanting to meet you, and you're my favorite Democrat. And I said, oh, thank you so much. And he said, I'm a Republican, and at first I didn't know about you, but you're doing a great job, and you have the ability to cross over, and you've got a lot of support in the Republican Party, even in the city of Perry. And I see you running for Congress.
That's
and I was like, really? He said, yes, you can run for Congress, and you will have my support. And I said, well, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Thank you for the kind words. But things like that happen to me just out the blue. So again, you don't fight it. Don't put yourself in a glass building or glass ceiling, and you allow life to take you on the path that's meant for you. And if you never do, you never can reach your highest potential, or you're going to miss out on things because you're in your own way. And I try hard to not be in my own way.
Hearing that from a Republican, though, what is your thought process at that moment when he says that?
I've done what I was supposed to do. A true candidate for the people, regardless of political affiliation. Whenever people read my bio, that's what they say, because that's what I was intentional of putting forward. But someone who's working for the people of all people, not based on their religious beliefs, not for the political affiliations, but because they live in our city. And at the end of the day, we all want a better quality of life. So to see that I am not doing the stereotypical thing or not fitting some sort of a cliche, and I am just doing from my heart what I think is the best for our city, Counsel and I, we touch and agree on that. We are a mixture of all those things that I just mentioned. And it shows me that my report card reflects I'm doing a good job. And though I'm running for office again this year, I think my report card will reflect that I should pass to the next grade. And the next grade for me is term number 2.
I got a question too. So I'm a go ahead. I'm a biker, not motorcycle, but the road bikes.
Okay.
I mean, if I move back, you gotta get some roads, some bike lanes. Now I need some bike lanes.
Good. Yeah, we're working on complete streets and bike and walking trails.
Oh yeah, I need that.
He did. I got a picture for him too. He got the whole suit on. Send it to me.
Yes, but that's something we're doing.
I just want to say this because you mentioned something right a few moments ago. I don't know if y'all caught it, but I caught it. In these times now, right, where it's chase the bag, get the money. You took a pay cut, right? Which a lot of folks, when they talk less money, they don't even want to hear it, right? So you took a pay cut and it ended up, how you just said, it ended up being one of the biggest blessings in your life, where you was able, a lot of things have come to fruition,
Yeah.
right? Where money, which we, as I say we, as a culture, as a community, we put a lot of emphasis on it, right? Where, again, when you talk less, I ain't trying to hear it. Ain't enough money. Where you indeed took a pay cut, but how it ended up working out for you. You end up being bigger than what you ever imagined it. So can you elaborate a little on, what was the moment, why you didn't make it about money? Why is it important not to make it about money? And, sometimes it looked like a setback, but it's really, I don't know if you've seen like the meme of the poacher, like the regular start line, that they got like, the rubber band, you know what I'm saying?
Springing you forward.
It's something springing you forward. So like, you think it's a, setback, but it's really, it's getting you to launch off. Yeah,
Okay.
so like, can you elaborate?
Absolutely. I was just talking about this, I feel like it was this week. My days run together now. And I was saying, I took a pay cut for this position, was yesterday. I was talking to one of my police officers. But I know that one day it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off not just in impact, but also financially for me, one day. But for now, I serve because I put people over power. Most people who go for higher offices like this one, they do it for the power. And that's how you see them getting in trouble and getting locked up for, making those backdoor deals. And I remember coming in, I was like, you already know the stereotype. There's going to be some developer that's going to try to give you some money so you can do something for them, and then you make money off of it. And there's no envelopes coming under my door. And if it does, I'm putting it right back out. There is no network, fill in the blank. There is no network anymore when it comes to the city of Warner Robins because I'm here. There are no bridges that I cannot cross. If I can't cross the bridge, it's got to come down. And I literally say this, and Carlos knows it. But at the end of the day, you have to get being a public servant, which is what I am. I serve the public. You have to do it with the right mindset. A lot of people do it, typical elected officials in our country, because they like the power, they like the status, and they're the ones that get in trouble. But if you do it for the people, for the impact, then I'm not wearing orange for nobody unless I decide I want to wear it, and it's not anything that goes with inmate on behind it. But it's true. So I did it. The wage is livable. At that point, I had 2 incomes. Now I have 1 income. So it's troubling sometimes. But there is such thing as what? Multiple streams of
Income.
revenue.
And also think about
So I
this.
focus on that.
You just said you were serving people, right? So think about, we're gonna put in the sports term, think about LeBron James. He's one of the biggest athletes in the world, right?
Yes.
So he's paid upon serving people. So you might not see it right now because you're serving people here, but who says you might be serving people all over the world, and that's gonna bring more income than you can imagine.
True.
So you never chase the bad, chase the purpose.
Yeah. I like
Get a
that.
shirt made.
That's daily, man.
shots.
No.
Trying to steal.
Come on, we gonna let it rock. We gonna let it rock. We gonna let it rock.
Well, how about this? Whenever somebody makes a shirt, I'm gonna order mine because I need to wear it.
Okay.
No,
I like my graphic
we
tees.
got some good for you for your campaign. So,
Thank you.
know.
But yeah, it's easy to get caught up in it because I've been a victim of getting caught up in, okay, the money aspect. And now that I'm getting older, because I'm older than you guys.
Hey, you want to tell a
Hey,
story
baby.
about you getting caught up?
I'm more like, so I'm an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. I was a regional manager for that. Now I'm thinking about getting in coaching. I know the coaching not going to pay what I'm used to making, but I feel like I can serve and help younger guys. So that's why I like that you said that, because now you give me insight. Like, okay, it might all work out. Even though I thought it would, but sometimes, go be back and forth with yourself. So I appreciate that.
You just say them.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It ain't no step back, man. You
Yeah, springing forward. You're
come
right.
on, man. You know what I'm saying?
DD.
Church it playing, fam.
Daily
You know,
deposits.
it's just a self reflection. That's all. You know.
Now, Mary, you may not know this. They call me Pastor Los.
I surely didn't. Now you tell me.
They call me Pastor Los. So I got to ask this question.
Pastor Lopes.
Pastor Los, that's what they call me,
Okay.
the team. Why is it important? Why is it important, though, seriously, to keep God first in all of this?
Oh, that's the foundation for which I stand. And all the things that attack you in life, and if you're breathing, especially if you have skin like ours, stuff's going to attack you in life. As long as you're aiming high, you have to stand firm upon the solid rock. And if you do, then you know nothing's going to defeat you. Weapons will form, but they will not prosper. If you believe it and you're doing things for the right purpose. Not saying that we can't make a mistake and those weapons do prosper. But if you stay with his will and do the right thing, then you know nothing is going to prosper against you. So my faith is my foundation. Even on days when I know I'm not praying like I'm supposed to, I have people come up to me and say, I've been praying for you. And I said, thank you so much. Please keep them coming. So you got your foundation, which is the rock, which is my religion, Christ the solid rock. I stand every single day. It makes me, in some way or form, be unstoppable, like the song says. Because if he is for you, nothing else can come against you. And I am a living testimony when I tell you, when I did this journey to run for this office, beating a 2-term incumbent who was a part of the system, every single thing lined up. Every single thing. And since I've been in office, every single thing I said I was going to do that they said was impossible, everything lined up. I have a check mark. Even getting the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. All of that. Check. So I know it's him. So that's how important it is. Because if I didn't have him, and if he wasn't my foundation, and if he did not put me on this path, then I would not have been successful at all.
Because you had a plan, though. When you got a plan, it's hard to fail. And like you say, most people go in there, they just looking for the power to be able to move this and that fast as possible. There's no plan to help the people or, do the things that you're supposed to do. So when you got a plan, it's hard to fail.
Good point.
When you go back to it, you might miss a box and skip over, but you come back to it, the plan will be there.
Wow.
Pastor Lowe's.
Just had to ask,
I mean, yeah,
got to
I'm not
incorporate
mad at
God
the
in
question.
everything we do.
We all stand differently.
Yeah, that's fine too.
You know, I'm not really into religion. We believe the same thing. But I'm not really into religion because
He
people like,
atheist.
He
He an atheist.
I am not.
No, I'm joking.
I am not.
But I had these people inboxing.
Nah, you ain't gotta worry about that. Man. People know me. You feel me? I can't tell you what they thoughts, but they can if they personally, like she said, you check the report card. You do your due diligence, which is those DDs. Ain't no coincidence. If you do your DDs, right, you'll see what come up. But like we always talk about, sometimes, pastors, like you said, get into these positions and don't be about the actual purpose.
Yes.
Right? Don't be actually about they be
Throwing
manipulative.
shots?
I ain't throwing shots.
I'm not no pastor.
I'm telling the truth.
Right,
Yes,
right.
yes,
We
true.
well, couple years ago. What Cat said? Truth don't need no motivation.
It don't. No.
I'm just gonna give it to you. Now, however you take it, you gotta look upon yourself on it. Now, I'm just gonna out the knowledge that I grew up on, out the knowledge that I went and seek and found,
Mhm.
and my own testimony. I know, you know what I'm saying. But again, we all human,
Mhm.
right? And sometimes people manipulate and do certain things which they don't understand the type of power that they able to, it blind leading the blind sometimes. You got this pastor who lean 20,000 people, but he's teaching them wrong.
Mhm.
Now, how many people he actually touching? How many people he actually affecting?
Good
You know
point.
what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a slippery slope. So that's why that's why I say that about certain things.
Yeah.
Just because we say we want this, but we do a total opposite. So like, I'm just a nitpicker.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's true. That's the reality. And people have their own walk with the faith that they've chosen, and that's fine. Even me. I mean, you have to. I know we're about to we're about to close out, but one thing that I learned and I try to live by is people have to allow you to lead them.
Mhm.
And just because you have a title doesn't mean you're leading anything. It means you have a title that says you're a leader, but you're not really a leader. And you have to people have to allow you to lead them. So even with the church or being a pastor, we all can choose who we want to lead us. And if you don't see anybody that you want to lead you, then it makes sense that you're not connected to a church. But you have your faith and you have your beliefs, whatever it is. And at the end of the day, that's what matters.
Absolutely. But we got to understand too, though, church is what we're doing
Oh,
right here.
Ministry.
Two or mother gather. But that's what
a lot of people think you got to be in the building.
100%. But that's what I'm saying. When two or more gather, but that's where the atheists, that's where people the non-believers, that's where they, they fail that they actually experiencing church in that moment while they speaking blasphemy. So it's like, that's God funny thing to me. When getting those spots. So yeah, it's for sure.
Let the church say.
Amen.
Amen.
Thanks, Los.
Mary, it has been a pleasure to say the least. For you, like DQ said earlier, all the things you could have done, but you took time to come sit with us and to just give all this insightful information. Talk about the life of being a mayor. Just thank you for coming.
It's my pleasure.
Just want to obviously give you your flowers now. Serve as that again as the first African woman mayor here in Warner Robins. You don't hear that every day, so we just want to say we appreciate you for stopping by.
Thanks for the inspiration to all the women of color, and I got daughters, like I said, to be able to aspire and see a resemblance, to see somebody who actually doing what they say. So we appreciate you 100%.
Thank you.
Sure, you know what to do. Take us out of here.
And thank you all for your inspiration to me. You are doing great things, and I'm just elated to be here and just share time with you and get daily deposits from each of you too. That's your word, but I'm listening. You're always learning, so I'm learning every day. So thank you all for inserting positivity into me too.
And you'll come back on, right?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna come back on. As long as y'all let me come back. You'll get more into my playlist next time.
Okay. By that time, she probably gonna have Secret Service.
No. No, I go places by myself.
That's good.
Don't I?
That's good.
Yeah, you do.
You know.
Close. Hey, go ahead, man. Close out. You started. You gonna?
I gotta close it out. Well, it's been another great conversation here on Work Wednesday. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, follow, just do all that. Keep up with us. We have a lot of guests coming in, giving really good conversation just about their career, their life, and we hope that this can inspire you to learn something. Peace.